Hello, everybody. Hey, John, how you doing? So I'm here testing this chassis kit. Basically, it's the body and chassis kit that we're going to be putting out for dirt track cars. So we are going to release 5 of each, or excuse me, 5 kits of 4 types of cars. And this is one of them, which is basically just the body and the interior taped in, but it's bolted onto or screwed onto the chassis that Dave has developed for these cars. So if somebody doesn't want a scratch build, they could use a plastic chassis with these dirt cars. And you can see it handles pretty well on here on a road course. So you can have fun on a road course with these as well as an oval. This one's a 57 Ford Fairlane. Waiting for the Camaro for what? The Trans Am Camaro? That's for Grip and Rip. How you doing? Hope you hear me loud and clear and not my printer going crazy in the background. That's why I'm using a mic, because the printer is pretty noisy. The FDM printer. Yeah, don't worry, John. That one is coming out sooner than you think. Pretty soon. We actually have the body now, and I'm printing one because we're trying to get the sizing right. And yeah, we're going to have that soon. The people who bought the Challenger kit, thank you. Those will be going out Monday to SCC, so they'll be shipped out on time for the people that have pre-ordered them. We're just waiting for a few things that I could put in the car and the kits. So that is the front windshields, the decals for the headlights and the taillights is what I'm waiting for, and should be good to go. Because we wanted to make sure you had a front windshield for the Challenger, and taillight and headlights grill stickers, because that's what the real cars are. They're not real headlights, they're just a big decal or painted on. Whoa. Oh, roll over. I was pushing it. Right, you can't say I wasn't pushing it. There you go. Let's see over here. So I'll show you guys this. So this is basically what we have now. So if you don't want a scratch build, we're going to have these available. So it'll be a full kit, minus the running gear, obviously. It'll be the chassis, the pod, the interior, and the body. You have to get the rest yourself and put the car together, which takes you in reality, about 30 minutes with soldering and everything. I say 45 to an hour. Let's say that realistically. Obviously, painting it will be more, but pretty cool. This thing rips pretty good, and I'll show you the chassis themselves. Oh. And they are right here. In the pod. I'll show you the pod also. So what we have here is what's going to be available is the Petty Dart car, right? Here's the chassis for it. And we're going to have the 55 Chevy, of course. That's this chassis. And of course the 57 Fairlane, which you saw there. And then the Falcon. So we'll have 4 of these cars. available with the body and the interior as a kit that Soccer Corner will be carrying. And here is the pod. And basically you use the existing bushings that we use for the showdown build, the 3/16 flange bushings. You just glue them in there or use an axle stop to keep them in there. They won't go anywhere, and that's it. And that's the pod. Long cam motor fits in there perfectly, and that's what we're going to be doing. First, we're going to release 5 cars, so 5 kits for each car. That's 20 kits. So we want to see if that'll generate interest. So I'm doing this right here, just to show everybody. Let's see, question for Grip and Rit Racing. Do you think you could put springs between the body screws and the chassis? Yeah, anything's possible. I'm not really a fan of suspension, unless you have a really bumpy plastic track. That's what that's really for, to be honest. If your track is pretty hard and smooth, like a wood track, I don't really see the necessary for a suspension. But I mean, everybody's different. Obviously, you see tape on the pod. That acts as a suspension, like a shock absorber, because it doesn't chatter. But I mean, it all depends on the surface that you're racing on too, or what track you have. So yeah, I think it would be able to. I mean, I can't say yes because I haven't tried a suspension kit on it, but I would say it's possible. The chassis are PLA Plus is what we use, the material, which a lot of the other people do use that make chassis, the ones that have more expensive machines. I've tried PETG, it's fine. Jim G, how you doing? But I think so far the PLA Plus is a very good material. And we've crashed that Falcon that Marty had, that little one, and it had a resin chassis on purpose. I mean, and that held up, so I think PLA Plus would be perfect. It has a good strength to it, and it's not a weak chassis. It's a very good, solid design. You can see here, obviously you throw this on the ground full force, it'll break. I know that's going to happen, but there we go. But, it takes its little tumbles and falls and holds up nicely. So, but not bad for something like that. DW Barker, how you doing? So I'm showing off this 57 Ford Fairlane. This is going to be one of 4 cars they're going to be making the chassis kits for. So it'll be the chassis, the pod, the interior, and the body. Just like the TA cars that we're pushing out soon here. We're going to offer 4 different models, and they're going to be 5 kits a piece, just to start out with, to see if it'll gain interest, because we don't know if this is going to be something that people will be interested in. So I know I've been sending the cars out to Marty and Tad, so I'm going to get the cars back, and then the ones that have the resin chassis, and put the plastic chassis in them, and then what I'll do is I'll send those out as a group of cars to people to try them out. So again, we need an interest in this. If we don't get interest in this, then I'll just make them for myself and have fun. I don't, you don't want to buy them, you don't want to buy them, that's fine, but it's, I got the machines to do it, so I'll just do it myself. Which I enjoy, printing and putting these together and painting them and stuff. They're unique. You ain't gonna find any other companies like Slotted or Thunder Slot or, all these Italian and Spanish companies. They ain't gonna build American cars, I'll guarantee you that. So we're gonna do it. Let me know how I'm interested. Well, I would say in a few weeks I'm going to get the kits together. Right now I'm currently printing the chassis for them. And again, it's going to be 5 kits per car. So there's 4 releases. So that is the 55 Chevy, the 57 Ford, which you see running on here, the Petty Dart kit car, and or the Petty Dart car, I should say, not kit car. Maybe it is a kit car, I think it was. And the, what did I miss? The 55 Chevy. So that's going to be the 4 choice cars. And if it gets enough interest, There are the other dirt track cars that we have that we sell for, you know, that SCC sells for bodies, and we can make kits for those if it gets if this takes off. Now we know the Trans Am ones are going to be popular because people will really like those. So, and we're working on those as well. We currently have the Camaro body in the works, you know, working it out. The next one will be the Mustang, and then we'll have 3 types of Trans Am cars: the Challenger, the Camaro, and the Mustang. So the TA2 class is what races. Now the TA2 classes race the Toyota Camrys, believe it or not. So maybe in the future Toyota Camry, but we're mainly focusing on the American Iron side of stuff. But there's not enough of that. No American Iron really. Not at all lately. Nobody wants to make them. Except for the existing molds that are around from Carrera, which once in a while they'll bring one out, but not too often. I'll let you know, DW Barker, when something happens. Can everybody hear me loud and clear, I hope, through this mic? Hope so. The supporting parts are pretty easy for this car. RTD L Slot Racing Club, how you doing? Hey, how you doing there, sir? Thanks for joining us. We're just talking about these particular car right here, which will be a kit that'll be available from Slot Car Corner soon. There'll be 4 dirt track cars, so 5 kits per car will be released, so a total of 20 kits, because we want to see if anybody's interested in this. Cars on awesome, looks really smooth. Thank you, yeah. Dave did a good job on designing the chassis, and the rest is pretty much easy. Tunability on these are not bad at all. The front axle is completely adjustable. The pod is movable if you want it to move. And the bodies are pretty nice, and the interiors are fitted for the bodies. So not bad. Are you going to offer just the body kit? Not well. There are bodies available like this one. So any of the dirt track bodies are available by themselves. The interiors, that's a different thing right there. We're trying to get the interior stuff worked out, but the bodies are available. But as far as the kits, they're going to be all together with interiors and chassis. Nope, finally came off. If you guys have any questions about these, please let me know in the comments, and we'll answer them as best we can. I'm here trying to get these stuff done here, so don't mind me. I'm getting some stuff ready as my chair falls. Stupid chair. These damn chairs. Sorry about that. Little stool chairs. When do you get the body? Where do you get the body? Slot Car Corner. See your name. Paint by Greer. How you doing, Paint by Greer? Thanks for joining us. Tony Tibbs, thank you for joining us. Paint by Greer. It's from Slot Car Corner. SlotCarCorner.com. If you're interested, you can get them there. There should be some dirt track bodies there, as a matter of fact. What do I do with my pen? I'm always losing stuff. Let me see if I'll put a link in there for you to Slot Car Corner. So hold on a second here, and I'll help you out there. 1 second. 1 second. Let me get a link for you there, Mr. Paint by Greer. Paint by Greer. All right, hold on a second. 1 second here. Let me get the. All right. So I'll put the link in there for you. There's several different bodies available, and you can check them out there. There you go. There's a link. Have at it. You're armed and dangerous now. So I hope that helped you out there. There you go. There's other bodies available too besides the short track bodies, but if you want any other questions answered, please ask away. I'll answer as best I can. Alright, not too bad there. This is a lot of fun, this car. This isn't painted, obviously. It's just a gray. I'm calling them gray kits. They're not really white kits. Call them gray kits. They're all gray. This one is just put together for fun. I'll have to take the body off, obviously, in the interior and paint it up. I've already done 2 cars that are running around out there with resin chassis, which were our test chassis. And when I get this back, we're going to change all the running gear and put it into the PLA plastic chassis. And the bodies are already painted on those. All you have to do is a quick transfer, and that's it. Oh, finally came off there. Finally de-slung. Thank you, Tony Tibbs. Appreciate that. I think they don't run too bad. They're a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that you can't get from anybody, really. You know, big manufacturers won't make anything like this. I don't think they even know what a Ford 500 is. Ford Fairlane 500, so. This probably could clean the tires on this. Let me, probably should change the battery on this thing. Let me get my cleaning solution, my sponge, and clean the tires here. Oh, we're almost out of Windex. Oh, great. Get more Windex, which I have over there. My little portable cleaning station. Damn it. Oh, what else did I get? There we go. You guys can hear me still, I hope. Ran over a mic. There we go. We're cleaning. We need to get more Windex in there. Maybe guys, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna put some more Windex in here. I need to go buy more Windex. Gosh, I can't believe I'm running out of Windex here. Currently printing my Fairlane chassis. Actually, the chassis for this car for the starting of the kits. So, see, things are happening. It's the technology we have now is just wonderful. How we could able to do all this stuff, resin print, filament print. Now we could, you know, if you get into the programs and start learning how to make stuff, you can make your own stuff, which is cool. This is what I love about technology now. A couple years back, the filament printers weren't exactly there yet because the technology was still, it was okay, but now it's getting better and better, and it's becoming more realistic, and that's what's happening with what, you know, how we're doing all this. See, Tony Tibbs got good. I would imagine that they would sell well in New Zealand and Aussie, and I'm sure there will be people in the UK that would also like them. You know, yeah, I mean, but I mean, we'd have to find out. You'd have to, if you guys from the United Kingdom and Australia are seriously interested in these cars, then what I suggest you do is email Slot Car Corner, email Steve Sawtell, and tell him, hey, you know, we'd like to get some of these cars. So if you get like a group buy, you know, where you get a couple of guys that do a group buy and then they pitch in for the shipping, you know, you could do something like that also. I mean, I'd be happy to print chassis and bodies for guys in the United Kingdom or Australia. That'd be cool. I'd like to see stuff from, you know, another part of the country trying, you know, running these cars. That's what they're meant for. They're meant to have fun. And that'd be pretty cool. So that'd be nice, Tony Tibbs, if you could get a couple of guys to get involved in that. So, I mean, this is not cheap, you know, to ship sometimes. It could be expensive, so, you know, I get it. You gotta have the demand for it. I think Australian Post isn't anything like Canadian Post. Canadian Post is ridiculous. I would never try to sell anything to Canada because the post office or the postal service there is just, you gotta, you know, pay like $100 for something like this to be shipped to Canada. No thanks. It's not like they're across the country, you know, across the Atlantic Ocean, like you guys are. So I don't know, but yeah, if you guys from Australia and England, who's ever, if you know some guys here from England, I don't know if you are, if you email Steve from Slot Car Corner and tell him, hey, you know, we're interested in buying some kits and get them sent out here. How much would it cost to ship them, and you know, so forth. But it's not. Hey, speaking of Steve, look who Steve just dropped by. There you go. There's Steve from Slot Car Corner. Somebody was asking about, you know, if they would buy them and send them to Australia. I go, that you have to talk to Steve and see what you can work out. But you know, that's, I'm sure with Australia the post is not too bad over there, but I don't know. I'm going to ask a few people in the United Kingdom. There you go. RTLDD Slot Car Racing. Yeah, for sure. I'm in the UK and I'm interested for sure. Chassis and bodies. US cars are like, it's just our roads are too small, but I'm sure there's a collection following American cars. Yeah, and I mean, that's the whole deal. You know, in the United Kingdom, I mean, you guys are a real old country, and I'm sure, you know, automobiles were really, you know, a thought when they made streets because you guys, the country's so old, you know, you had horses and stuff. And so, I mean, you come to America, it's, you know, when America was founded, it's a lot bigger country, so bigger area and all that. Yeah, that's why the cars are bigger. Totally understand. That's why the vehicles that you call, that we call semi-tractors here, you call them lorries. They're completely different here because they don't have the short nose. Because if you put an American semi-tractor to go through English roads, they're too big. So I get it. Let's see, Rip and Great Response 3A3D Build Series. Using the slot invasion guide and the SEC tongue guide, post doesn't have room between the swivel properly. Is it okay to sand the tongue down? You're talking about on the actual brass stuff? Because the brass one you can't really do. I mean, if you wanted to, you could, but I mean, oh, okay, on the. I mean, you could try it if you want, but I mean, is there something wrong with the slot machine guy or a commercial guy that you don't, or you just don't have those out there? My ears are ringing, Steve. My granddad owned an American brand, and it would soon over the big cars and the car shows, and yet shrug at the British cars, which us kids thought were cooler and more sportier. Hey, there you doing, Dave? Well, you know, there's some British cars that are pretty cool. You know, I mean, I can't say they're, you know, it's just, I call it culture. The culture in England and, you know, back in Europe is completely different than the culture here in the United States. So yeah, there's a cultural difference. I mean, that's why the cars are different here than over there. I have to say one thing the Australians do are more, obviously they got a bigger area that their cars are kind of similar to Americans. Because they got a bigger area to run their cars, you know, not like you guys, the smaller country. Dave's on. This is Dave's design, guys. Dave put a lot of work into these designs here. You see these chassis work really well. When he said, just watch the cool video on YouTube of Dan Gurley's son buying his car that he kicked the Jags' butts with over here. Dan Gurney was a big dude too. That's a big guy. Hey Tad, what's up, man? Big land, big engines, greater distances. It's designed by purpose. Makes absolute sense. Yeah, that's true. I deal in transportation every, you know, at my work, so it's logistics that we do. It's a big company that delivers foods to a certain chain store. I won't say, but they have their own fleet, and that's what I work on is tractor trailers, specifically the Freightliner tractor. The what they call the new Cascadia, which is called the P4. That's the current name of, or the designation of it. Dave the Legend, oh yeah. All right, oh, dang. One thing I want to mention is thank you to everybody that subscribes to the channel. We've actually reached over 2,000 subscribers. That's pretty cool, and I appreciate that for the people that, you know, subscribe. I hope they are having fun with at least learning things on the channel and, you know, getting good information and good content to you, because that's what Area 51 is about. And we here love our American iron cars. Michael Squire. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Ooh, nice flip there. Buzzkill, how you doing, man? Big love for you keeping the food industry moving. Yeah, everybody needs food. Excuse me. Everybody needs food. You know that. Ooh, I'm good. Working on my slot cars too. American Iron is the only way for the left turns. That's right. Left turn, left turn. Ooh, that turn always does that if you go too fast. Quick bend right there. The flashing sign on the wall is cool. Yeah, you get that from eBay if you want. That slot car center racing sign. I've had that for a number of years now. They make a couple different ones too, so that's available through eBay. They have one that's like a drag tree, you know, with the drag racing tree and the green and yellow and the red lights, or that kind. That also changes different colors too. That one's flashing multiple colors. You could do it in just red and green and all that. And it's lasted a long time. I've had that for, I think, yeah, I don't know, let's see, 7 years. So going strong still. Cool. If anybody hasn't seen the chassis on the bottom, I'll show it to you. I showed it earlier. This is basically what we have here. Got a pod right here, long can motor, the gear, and then the chassis itself. This slot invasion guide is what we use, the Rebel slot type. So basically it's the only type that could fit on here. You can't really put anything else. And it works good. I prefer the slot invasion guide period because it's deep and it's wide, so having it wide at a good, you know, the thickness is because it doesn't slap around as much in the slot. I think it provides a lot of stability, and it's a great guide. You know, that's why I use a lot of them in my scratch build cars too. It's just a wonderful guide. Nothing against the other ones, it's just a preference, you know, everybody has a preference. That's the one that works best, and that's why we use it. I mean, it stays in the slot nicely. You can see here. Yeah, this Ford body is really nice, and you can't. So we had this body design because there wasn't any Ford bodies out there like this. The Ford 500, the 57. In 132nd. You probably get it in 125th or 124th, but 132nd, you know, and it's got a lot of detail. Now it's like a little shiny because I just took this off when I printed it and didn't clean it too well, but that's no big deal. Once you coat that with primer, it's fine. And sand it, and you know, sand down the surfaces. But I mean, it's a sharp looking car. It makes an excellent dirt car, and it's just cool looking. And this is the nemesis for the 55 Chevy, you know, is to go against each other, the brands. And yeah, it's got good body float, and, you know, good pod float. The see, it's been nice and free like that. Because there's grub screws above and below, so you got a nice rolling axle there. I got a little play on it up and down, so gives it a little contact and moving around. Again, there you could put weight on it if you want, and you know, underneath the thin weight, or put it on the inside. It's nice smooth surface, the chassis. It's not textured. We were doing texture like this. See, this is one pod I grabbed, and I found that the tape doesn't stick as nicely. So I've been making them smooth so that the tape will not have, you know, a better surface to grab. I used the strapping tape. You see, there's a little, keep the pod from flexing too much to keep it from chattering. But and then these are SCC wheels, the anodized wheels. These are black. They have them in red. Really cool wheels. So I mean, if you do a paint scheme and then you have black wheels, anodized wheels, they look really nice, or red anodized wheels, and they look really cool. Like the one I have upstairs, the brass chassis Falcon has the red anodized wheels, and this is just a nice looking body. You know, all of them are the Falcon, the 55, and the Richard, the Petty car, the Petty Dart. Just really nice looking cars. Nice detail, and once you paint them up, they look really good, and they do real well. All right. If anybody has any questions about anything, I could take you a small tour of what's going on here. We've had a little more of an expansion deal going on here, so we've had to buy a table from Amazon so I could put my little building area here, because there was nothing here before. As you have seen this channel in this room down here, the Area 51 track, where above is the upstairs. Right upstairs is Hangar 1, which is the oval. And here are the chassis we got for the the Trans Am cars right here that we've made. And I've actually printed these trays through the Bamboo website. They have a community on there, and you could just print up stuff for free. And you see these trays come in handy, and what's nice is they stack like that. So if you have parts, it just makes it a little bit easier to organize. And then you have little ones you can see like that. It comes in handy, and I just put a 3 Amigo sticker or a 3A3D on there sticker, and hey, it's 3D printing is really cool in both departments, in both how would you say, in both resin and FDM. It's just a preference. I like them both. Of course, resins, I like them for the bodies and for the interiors. FDM, to me, it's not there yet. I don't think it had to be really super good to get there. I haven't been, I just prefer the resin. Of course, there's the drawback of, the mess and everything. So, and then the printer I have here is the Bamboo printer with the AMS, the automatic material supply. I guess that's what that means. So I have 4 reels in there. Right now we're using black for the chassis that we're making for the kits right now. And I think these are the Fairlane chassis right here. I'll drop them down, you'll see the machine moving about, how it does its thing. Real good machine, I've been happy with it. This is the Bamboo Lab P1S. They make a carbon one. The carbon one is for carbon material, but I figured, well, I'll buy a carbon head, which I did, and then I could run carbon material later on. So if I want to do carbon nylon or, the stuff that's added to carbon, I could just change the head out and switch the reel. But it does a little dancing. I need to get a little anti-vibration pods on there. But it does real well. And then I have another printer on the way that I had to wait till the end of May because I pre-ordered it, and it won't be here till May. And that's the Centauri Carbon by Elegoo, and that'll go over there in that corner. So again, there's just a lot of things I've added lately. This is all I've added right here. There used to be another table here, but now that I've been doing more of the printing and stuff, it's just a lot of stuff. And of course, the track area, and put the camera back in the spot. And this is where I hang out, either here or upstairs. So whatever suits my needs. Let me bring my wire over here. But yep, George, you're gonna need more room. Yeah, no, I'm not. That's enough. My wife told me, don't get any more printers. I think you have enough. Have a total, actually I have a total of 3 FDM printers and 3 resin printers. And that's a lot. So, yep, way down the rabbit hole. That's what happens. But you know, it's nice because, again, there's a lot of great manufacturers out there, and I'm not trying to beat anybody up. I love Revo slot cars. You can see there's a case over there. It's all Revo slot. I mean, there's a Revo slot Porsche right here. There's a slot at Ferrari, and you can see the stuff above earlier, the stuff I have. I love the cars, but as far as the American Iron, there's nothing like these cars that we have here, and it's the technology we have now and the printing availability, the capability. This makes this possible, and I really am happy that we're at that point where we could do that. I mean, we started doing this stuff as far as getting into printing bodies in August, so we've done a lot of progress since August. It hasn't even been a year, so it's amazing. I mean, we're not even a year and we're doing our own little chassis. You know, Dave's developed them, I printed them, and we have bodies. And you know, we thought of these kits because a lot of people, you know, don't like to, you know, scratch build. I love scratch building. It's not very hard, but some people don't want to do it. So this is why Dave, Harry, and myself thought, you know, well, Dave initially thought, why don't we, if we designed a chassis, we could print it, you know, and make it available for people who just want this style of car and make it possible. And there's more possibilities that could happen as well with other cars. And I know Dave's been doing one, I won't say, but he's been doing one that's pretty cool for himself. And again, it's about gaining interest. If it gains interest and popularity and people want it, then that's when we'll talk about making it a kit. But these take time. You have to, you know, test and trial, print, and if it doesn't work, you have to go back to the drawing board and fix that, and then reprint again. So it costs time and money. The material and the time is what costs. You know, luckily I only work 3 days a week and off 4, so I have a lot of time to do this. If I was working, you know, 5 days a week, this would be a lot slower process, but I have the time, so I really dedicate a lot of time to doing this, and so does Dave and Harry, to you know, to getting these things going, because we know people are interested in them, and that, you know, some are, and we don't want to make a lot of stuff if people are not going to, you know, be interested into it, because, you know, it costs time and money. In the long run, if nobody becomes interested, I'm happy with building, or we are happy, the 3 amigos would be happy with building stuff on our own and making it art, you know, unique, because this is a one-of-a-kind thing. When you build something like this and you put your own paint job on it and your own numbers or whatever you do to it, it is a one-of-a-kind, one-off build. Nobody has it, and that's what makes it cool. You know, everybody has a Revo slot that's the same thing, unless they buy a white kit and make it their own. You could do that too, but this is unique in itself because this is something so different. Because again, the culture in Europe is so different than in America, because nobody is going to make American classic cars like this. Not, you know, very few, you know, will do anything like this. It's not, you know, something that they're going to do, you know, but it has to be popular, and I'm sure it's not popular in Europe, so only a handful of people are interested. But as far as the big group of people from across the pond, as they say, there's not a big following of American cars. They'd rather deal with what they grew up with, which I totally get. Yeah. Well, if anybody don't have any questions, I'm going to close out here, because we have our landscaping guy coming pretty soon. He's going to do some work for us that we need done. But Benny Bennett, Benny, let me make sure I said Bennett. All right, I did say that right. How you doing? Nice work, clean track. I haven't yet searched, just started to follow you. Oh, thanks, Benny. Appreciate that. There's a lot of videos on there if you're interested in scratch building, and you know, there are some tuning videos on cars, that how I tune them. and there's some, reviews, and then a lot of different things on there. There's a lot of videos on Area 51. There's like over 600, so there's a lot of it. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. You take care. Thanks to Steve. If it wasn't for Steve, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. What we're doing, he is our supporter of this and our sponsor, so he helps out. So if it wasn't for him and Bob, because Bob is his other business partner, we wouldn't be where we're at today with offering these kinds of things. And again, it takes time and money to do so. So, anyways, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the live, and like I always say, you guys take care and have fun racing.